Welcome to another episode of the weekly business show with
Welcome.
myself and my main man, Villy. We've been doing this, yes, for a year and a half now. Absolutely
Can you
insane. But
believe it? I
I
think I
think this
counted
is
we did
our
over
60th
this 60th episode, man.
episode. So, yes,
Yeah,
this is absolutely amazing. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode. Hope you enjoyed this as much as you do the others and that you learn something from it. This is my
yeah,
passion is to help you learn. So, remember to like and subscribe. Check the stuff out on YouTube. Share our YouTube links on Facebook and your other platforms and stuff as well, please, guys. Let's just help us grow the channel and grow the word about the weekly business show. I
yeah,
think it's a really cool initiative. And then, lastly, I think one of the biggest factors for us that's helped us through this period is all our mastermind groups that we've been part of. If you want to
yeah.
join our mastermind group, go check it out. It's on the bottom there as well. And Entrepreneur HQ / mastermind. So go check out on our website / mastermind and you'll get all the details there. If you want to reach out to myself or Villy, then you can do so as well.
Cool.
So, Villy, just a quick introduction for any new guys that's on here. Who's EHQ? Who's Villy? Who's Eugene? And go.
Hello, new guys. For all the new guys out there, my name is Billy. I'm what do you call it again, Eugene?
You are
Um,
numbers rearrangement doctor.
that thing, aka accountant, and Eugene is something business coach, guys. Anyway, so for the guys that's new to the show, we started EHQ as a business to help entrepreneurs take their businesses online. But as part of our passion project, we said that one of our beliefs is that we firmly believe that you can fast track your success by learning from guys that's more successful than you. And that's kind of how the idea of a business show started. So we interview other entrepreneurs, which is experts in certain areas. Today is nothing other than the previous
That's
ones.
the word I was looking for in the previous show. I was like, we interview guys that's good, that's it's expert. I can't believe I slipped. I must be fogging from COVID or something. But
Yeah, so you talk too much, man. So yeah, Eugene, I think without further ado, before we go to today's guest,
before
guys, if you
we and Villy got cut out.
are we cut out? No, I don't think we cut out. I think Eugene's cut out. So
That's
we get to today's guest, guys, the purpose is for you guys to learn. So if you've learned one thing today, then we have achieved our mission. So go grab a pen and paper and let's learn today. But Eugene, without further ado, we've got such a special guest in today. Would you go ahead and introduce today's guest?
Mm. Just a funny joke that I heard is they said,
All jokes are funny.
wow. So there's a
Supposed to.
post that I saw on Facebook. It's like the average guy speaks 5,000 words a day and the average woman speaks 10,000 words a day or something like that. And then at the bottom, so my daughter's 9. And so I think that's why it's funny because it relates to that, just that mouth of a, we call it bubble back. It's just, it's like the average woman speaks 10,000 words a day. It's like, I've got a 9-year-old daughter. She rambles that shit off by 9 a.m.
Eugene, where do you think she's learned that from?
So yeah, guys, let's get into today's show. And today we're interviewing Mark from Foundation Accounting. Mark's also part of our mastermind group. He's been part of our mastermind group for over a year. Made some really cool advancements in his business and his personal life. Just a really cool guy. Met him in Cape Town as well. Had a few beers. And so Mark is in Cape Town, making us jealous every time we have our private Zoom sessions with his views that he has there. So, Villy, let's get Mark in and yeah, get on with the show.
And the crowd goes wild. Mark,
How's it, guys?
welcome to today's show. Such a privilege to have you on the show. Hope you had a great Heritage Day. But yeah, so let's jump
Yeah.
into this, guys. Mark's part of our mastermind. Mark, for everyone that does not know you, tell them a bit about yourself and how did your entrepreneurial journey start?
Yeah, thank you guys. Welcome everyone that's watching. How I started entrepreneur. Sure. My father, he sort of taught us growing up to study hard, get good grades, go to varsity, get a good job, sort of thing. And that's what I did. Although the varsity part wasn't totally. I think I was buying shares in SAB, but not the online ones. Yeah, so that was my start with entrepreneurship is been a lot later in life when COVID hit. So I've always, as an accountant, wanted to do something else, and always like thinking of what can I do, what's going to make me money, and things like that. And it boiled down to, at the end of it, was COVID forcing me to do something. And what was I good at? I was good at figures. So that's where I went into. And my wife's always been telling me, Mark, open your own business, accounting. And I was saying, no, man, I want to get out of accounting, and you do what you're good at. And I've often wondered, God, why did you give me a head for figures, when it's so boring, And one of your show, the mastermind group, that course that we did, where one of the things we had to go through and the personality traits and things like that, actually said that I'd be a good accountant, but not in a corporate field, because that would be too narrow-minded or too controlled. More as a personal accountant. So so I love it. Being able to sit with your clients, having coffee, and seeing what I can do with them and do for them.
So amazing, Eugene, to hear our guys start their businesses, and we all got more or less like a similar type of story where you want to do something, but you kind of get kicked out of the nest, not by your own choice, but by the choices that life makes for you. And looking back at my own journey, it's just how grateful I am that certain things happened in my life, and which makes you a stronger person, and actually got you to to live out the dream of yours.
Totally.
So so amazing. I just love it.
Yeah.
Something else that's very cool is a lot of people actually struggle during lockdown and closed businesses and stuff. And you went the opposite route. You started your business.
Well, the thing is
that journey.
Well, the stress of also my father, teaching us, if you're doing something and you're not getting it right, put more hours into it. And if you're still not getting a result, do it harder, sort of thing. It wasn't like get something else to help you and things like that. It was, it was you do it yourself. It's don't rely on other people. Take the responsibility yourself, and going from, I think it was a blessing in disguise, because I was so stressed in my last job because everything. I took the responsibility, not saying, it's not me, it's one of my department people or whatever. I'm in charge. I need to take responsibility, and that stress coming off me, it was just total relief. So COVID, being with my wife and my daughter's still at home. She's in matric this year. So it was just the three of us, and it was like, 10,000 words a day. Sure.
So I get 20,000 steps. 10,000 words and 20,000 steps around the house. So tell me, Mark, so you've obviously started your business in lockdown. You joined our community quite a while ago. How has being part of a community help you to actually grow your business from literally scratch during the last couple of months?
Well, the thing was that when I joined you, I hadn't really made up my mind to do it totally. So, I still wanted to do things, but I still had enough money to last me, a while and things like that. So it wasn't an urgency. So joining the group, I was like looking through Facebook and I saw your guys' message. It was a photograph of the two of you. And I thought, no, man,
Pretty boys, pretty.
Pretty boys,
Pretty, but tough.
Pretty from Pretoria, yeah. So I joined it, and yes, it's like I've always wanted to be with not you guys, but guys that people that lift you up. You don't want to be in someone
like-minded journey.
Like-minded or positive people. I don't want to be with negative people. It's your negativity plus their negativity. It's not the same as maths. It doesn't cause a positive, cause a double negative. So
Yep.
So the group, I started at the beginning. So I was like, you guys would mention things, and everything was to me was. I learned books manually, sort of thing. So when I left my articles, I did, went into corporate. It was laptops, and then I had to learn what they call that stuff, Lotus 123, not Excel in those days. Yeah. So leaving work, everyone else does their stuff on cloud. So it was relearning that, like a different way of accounting. It's good that I knew what the end result should be, but it's been your group, the way you took us through the Facebook ads and geez, and I had to go over it over again with the funnels and trying to understand the funnels. It's just, and you guys were telling the same things over and over, and and you must probably told like 10 times before, but it clicked in that one session, this, and then that session something else clicked. And as you said earlier, it's like, even though you take one thing, don't try and take the whole lot. Just take one thing and then work on that. And then next week do something else, because that same thing will come up again. And this group has been phenomenal. I mean, it was, we didn't have like churches that you can go to, so there wasn't those groups and things like that. So, and you guys were online, and it was a way to get out of the house, even though for an hour on Thursday afternoons.
I love the way about the one thing is I listen to quite often listen to audiobooks, and I learned so much from these audiobooks. And I made like a promise to myself is that you can, if you want to implement all of those things all at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. So I've got this rule that I've started for myself. I said, if I just implement one thing from each audiobook that I listen, or one thing that I learn from a mastermind group, or one thing that I learn from someone else, and when they share all of this knowledge, it means that I'm just a little bit better than what I was before. So love it.
But Mark, so I really like your business model. So you've taken your skills and then things that you love, because you don't love the accounting, you're really good at accounting. What you love is the people aspect of it and connecting with people and the coffee and stuff like that. Just explain to us a bit more about how you structured this business to where you use your strengths and then combine what you love into the same business.
Okay, so using my strengths is what I wanted to do. Okay, and from being old school and whatever, and I didn't like the auditing aspect of accounting, and so I was looking at small businesses, startup businesses, people, the sole traders, service orientated businesses. So I was looking at that. Okay, and because of lockdown and because of the surroundings and whatever, I tended to. It started off with like someone I know from church will say, "I didn't know you were doing accounting. Won't you do my books? Okay, I'll meet you at I didn't have an office. I'll meet you at the Earthworks Garden World. There's like a nursery. They've got a coffee shop there. I'm always at the coffee shop. I thought I'll meet you there, and then I started like taking my laptop there and doing a bit of work there, and if seminars, looking at them there and things like that. So, having a coffee with it, and my family, we love coffee. So yeah, anywhere to go for coffee, it's great.
I like broffie.
You like what?
Broffie, brandewyn and coffee.
Yeah. Yes, and I think it's part of the
Yeah,
stuff
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
one liter Ford.
Yeah.
I think being in the surroundings where you are as well, look at that view. We can just see the view. Then the reflection of the window. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's very fortunate about 7 years ago to get to find this plot. And we built a small house on it, and it's the views are unbelievable. It's like so relaxing. It was a sort of go to work, come back, and I'm on holiday, sort of thing. And that's what I've learned also through other things like my taekwondo. I do martial arts. So when we go into the dojo, you leave everything behind you.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you leave that stress away. So that whole hour and a half, you focus on what you're doing. And so the same was when I was at work. I had work, but when I came home, I came through the door, I left it outside. So come sit on the veranda, sun goes down, have a coffee, wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, while looking at the mountains, then go to work, sort of thing,
I'm looking at the wall, mate. With the wall.
I'm jealous.
Mark, you mentioned so starting off a business, it can be quite stressful. You mentioned when you're going to the dojo, you leave everything behind, that stress kind of goes. What are some of the other techniques which you use to, to get rid of that startup stress, anxiety type of feeling that guys get, and when you go into that feedback loop all the time? What are some of the additional things that you do?
Lexamol. What? It's Lexamol. It's like Prozac. My shrink gives me that.
Okay, we'll put a link. We'll put a link below this video.
It's doing something else. Okay, so being in groups like this, okay, everything's positive. Okay, and it's nice to have groups where you comment, you support each other. It's all positive. Okay, if there's something bad, if someone had to say something bad on this group, I'd like be, that's strange, because I don't think anyone's done that. My taekwondo family also. It's like they're always positive. Like when I joined them, and they put you on the group, and then you get higher up and they put you on another group, and everyone's so positive, and you think, no man, these what's this, like a bunch of cities, always say nice things, man. But it's not. It's when you're stressing, that's what you need, and if you are stressing, you just need to, if you're at work and you're stressed and you have anxiety, which I did have, you just got to do something, and preferably if the work is stressing you out, you need to do something outside of work that can take that away. So I do taekwondo. I do quite a bit of meditation. Going into Qigong now as well, where it's like meditation with movement. So these things all help, and when you're stressed, you tend to grab onto you need to be with people. So you don't grab onto people, you want to close yourself in. So I've had one or two good friends that have just pulled me inside and say, I say, I don't want to do this or don't want to do that, and I say, no, come, sort of thing. So get out there, do what you have to do whatever you can, and if you're stressing, just start something. Even though it's something simple,
action.
So that action.
So
if you're stressing, do something simple. so that you can get into it and maybe go further.
It's quite nice to hear from someone else that same advice. I think we spoke about it last week, Eugene. I said if you're anxious about something and stressed about something, by ignoring it, it's not going to go away.
No.
You have to identify what's causing this. And then once you've caused it, I think that's the biggest thing, Eugene, is taking action.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't plan properly. All right, so then I just leave it there. Then go do the planning and see how it works out for you. So, it's amazing.
That's something else. If you when you start your own business, there are things that you. So now, hopefully, you don't have the anxiety in that. So when you rearing to go, the thing that you think is your the most scariest thing to do is the thing that you should do first.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah.
You know? Otherwise, you're never
Yes, I
going to do
love
it. You're going to find something else to do.
Very cool.
So the
I love
most
it.
scariest thing to do that first. Yeah.
I think, Mark, you should write a book called The Most Scariest Thing, man.
If I write a book, the first 36 years of that would take two. There were too many. No one. It would be such a big book they wouldn't get to this stage. Like the first 36 years. Yeah.
I think what's also very cool that I relate to, and I don't know if it's the same for you, Mark. So I do Krav Maga and kickboxing and MMA and all that sort of stuff for many, many years now. So I've got it now tonight at 6 again.
I do street fighting.
That's the one I did. Yeah.
So beforehand, I don't know if you ever noticed this, like, I don't know, a client aggravates you, or there's someone that's not paying you, and you think, I'm going to do this, and it's all like a negative connotation. And then you go do something like exercise or jogging or meditation or taekwondo or kickboxing, whatever. And afterwards, like the solution planning that you have is a total different shift, and it's got totally different outcomes. So I've actually implemented a rule now where I'm not, and I've been practicing it probably for about 8 months now. I don't make important decisions before I've had a workout. So I either have to go to gym or craft or dancing or surf or something. I have to do some sort of physical thing before I choose what my solution is going to be. Because motivation and all that stuff comes from, I think it's a Latin word or something, that's movement. So moving around is what creates energy. It's funny that you actually have to go jog in the morning to have a day full of higher energy. You have to spend energy to get energy. It's a crazy thing. But do you find the same stuff with like the taekwondo and the meditation and those?
Well, now that you're talking about that, okay, it's Tuesdays and Thursday mornings I wake up earlier and I do meditation and I do taekwondo training before I do any work. Okay, so in those days I always have a great day, and when I do meditation in the morning, I tend to have a better day than if I do it at night. Okay, so yes, totally. But what I did is I know how I feel after my training, and it's always been good, you know. So, and I've always Saturday morning, we start like 6:30 in the morning, so you've got to wake up like 5:30 to get, it's like,
that's like my lunchtime,
I already start stressing on Thursday that I've got to wake up so early on Saturday. But I made myself accountable to the instructors and teachers and whatever, and to the other students, so that if I wasn't going to make it, I would excuse myself. And I hate lying. So, so I made myself accountable to them, and I did it for the pure sake of, so that I wouldn't chicken out of going to training. Yeah. So I didn't want to go to training, but I knew how I felt after training. So, so if you're accountable, if you're doing it with someone else, even easier, But
I also think I haven't skipped a session. I think I missed 2 classes this entire year. And that's been one of the biggest reasons. A lot of the time, because you get hurt, people are punching in your face. It's not fun. And I think before I know, I don't want to go. Just remembering how absolutely amazing I feel afterwards just gets you there. Because you remember the feeling afterwards. And I think that pushes us through. So how do we incorporate that into business? Discussion for another day. Willie, go.
Yeah, but I just want to add something about doing what you've done there, Mark. I mean, we often speak about people not taking action, and they say one of the most effective ways of keeping yourself accountable is by telling people what you will be doing. And that fear of going back to those people and telling them that I'm not going to do that kind of just pushes you through that uncomfortable thing just to get you to through that thing and get you doing that stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Be
we're running out
accountable.
of being accountable. So we're running out of time, Mark. So I've got one last question, Eugene. I don't know about you. Last week we talked a little bit about how we're getting to the end of this quarter of this year, and how we're going to be spending our time. What are some of the things that you're looking at implementing? To end your year on a high.
Going back to basics. Yeah, I'm looking at
Right.
advertising. What I've learned from you guys. It's going through to clients, just telling them, go onto my website, do reviews. Going back on what I've learned from you guys. It's like, I've got books, well, not books, a book that I'd go to with all these webinars that we've done and all the business shows that have been on, and I've taken notes on all of them and just go through. And it's just read through them and you'll see there's lots of stuff that can be done here. And as you said, last week is I think you said don't slow down now, because I'm also finding it's like people referrals, people are coming, or someone's Googled my name and they've picked it up on mine. Came one of the first ones that came up, and I was the first person that answered their call. So don't have your business on Facebook and then not answer your phone, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
love that. I think that is so crucial. It's actually mind-boggling that Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. So there's certain things that you need to do to become successful or to be more successful than what you were yesterday. One of the things you mentioned is taking notes. I mean, how many times do we say it? I wonder how many people actually do it. And then we wake up the next morning and we want to blame someone else for why we're not in a place where we want to be, when it's simple things like taking notes, write down, set your goals, set your intentions. What's your style of rejuvenation? How do you manage your state? It's simple things that you just need to go and do it. Why aren't people doing it? It's Mark, let's get into the hot seat. One more thing, go for it.
Now with goals, yes, it's like write them down. I mean, I've done Tony Robbins. I've done read. I don't read, but I've read Robert Kiyosaki's book, the first one. I tried the quadrants. And I've looked there. John Maxwell. There's there's a lot of these guys out there that are great, but you just need to write down your goals, because
almost say the same thing.
If it doesn't, if it's in writing, your brain sees it as well. Don't just think it. Write it down. Put it on the fridge. Yes, your goals will change. You might change it, and then just put another, cross the one out and put something else. Yeah.
Yep.
Something that Bertus mentioned to me, we actually mentioned in his book, he wrote a book, Teespoed Jou Voorspoed, and in the book, in the one section, he said, someone has spent the last 10 or 15 or 20 years of their life learning all this stuff, and they gave you their best advice in a book that you can read in 10 hours. You are compressing 10 years or 20 years worth of learning, and you're learning it in 10 hours. You get the opportunity to learn it in 10 hours. And then we don't do anything with it. They tell you, write down your goals. They tell you, start your morning this way. And then we don't do it. And he goes, Mark, so let's get into the hot seat so you know what it's about. You've been part of the show a few times. I'll go first. And The first question I have is you're a military guy, you were part of the military for quite some time. What is one thing you learned from that you implement in your business today?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't my best 2 years. I mean, I know what I
Very funny.
implemented afterwards. I used to get into a lot of fights. Yeah, but never give up.
Yeah.
You can throw anything at me. I'm still going to be standing tomorrow.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good way to have.
Powerful. So, Mark, we know what's your first book called. What's your second book called?
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Wow.
Yeah.
Staying alive, staying alive.
No, it's
Not that one.
not that one.
Mark, what book is that? I see you've got a blue book there in your hand. What is that?
This is my diary.
Oh, yes, very
Okay.
cool. And you take
So,
notes
and generally I don't take notes in this one. I've got a book for you guys. But I was doing something before this that I needed it, and it was and it's something to do with my hands.
What's been one of the best things about moving to Cape Town?
Okay, I was born in Cape Town.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so I went.
So
I
the
did
best
go.
thing's going back home.
I did go to Joburg for 13 years.
Okay.
My father passed away, so I came back to Cape Town. Always wanted to come back to Cape Town. Not that I don't like Joburg. Joburg was great. It was fast. I never seemed to have caught up when I was there for 13 years. But when I came to Cape Town, geez, Cape Town was so slow.
You know what they say?
Yeah.
Slop stuff.
Yeah. So it's a different way of doing things, and Joburg is it is a faster pace. I wish you could still shake a few things up in Cape Town. Cape Town do things at the last
When
minute,
they
and yeah.
I was there for a meeting as well. So I go down to Cape Town quite often for business and stuff as well. And I had a meeting with guys and they're supposed to be there at 8. So I rock up at about 7:30. I thought I'll have a cup of coffee, prepare my notes. Meeting's supposed to start at 8. 9 o'clock, they pitch up in shorts and they're like, "Nah, come, we're first going for breakfast before we start." I'm like, yes. I've got another meeting at 10. You pitch up at 9 and you first want to go for breakfast. I was like, what the hell?
That's something I don't like. If you 8 o'clock, you must be there at 8 o'clock. I mean, I'll make sure I'm there 7:30 so that I'm not late.
Yeah.
They must do the same.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We
So-
go
so
down
they-
Richmond.
Yeah. So you go, what time does the meeting start? And they go 9-ish. And you know.
Yeah, then
Richie
the
and-
hardest the hardest thing in Cape Town is I'll get back to you. That's because they will get back to you, but there's no Joburg. It will be like they'll get back this afternoon.
Remember,
tomorrow,
Cape Town
sort of
is
thing.
still
But Cape
part of
Town is-
Africa.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Then just last question from my side, Mark, is if someone starts a business now and they phone you and they say, I only have 10 seconds, what's your best advice you can give me? What would that be?
Don't procrastinate.
Wow.
So as I said earlier, do what you don't want to do that first.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You've got
Powerful.
to do something,
So last one just from me. One thing that you can't go without.
Coffee.
I thought you were going to say that. Oh.
One thing that you can't go without that you can say on air. Coffee.
I need to be with people. I need to empower other people. It's
Wow.
if I can tell someone something and they benefit from it, it's like Gee, it's like
Amazing.
it satisfies me. Yeah, it's a blessing to give. It's actually more of a blessing to give than to receive.
Well, let's actually see
Yeah.
if we can partner up. You can run EHQ Cape Town.
That's it.
Guys, so Mark, if someone wants to get hold of you or they want to use you or they want to just meet you for a cup of coffee, how do they get hold of you?
Foundationaccounting.co.za.
Cool. All your
My,
details,
my
everything
details
on-
are there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, guys. So reach out to Mark if you're in Cape Town area. If you've got a small business, give him a shout. Go have a coffee. No obligation. See what comes out of it. Build your
Yeah.
network. The
Even a
network.
coffee. You don't need an accountant, just coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
it.
game.
Like Mark, thanks so much for your
Mark.
time.
Yeah.
For all the
Pleasure,
viewers
guys.
after they go on
Thanks.
this show. And
Thank
see
you
you
guys
next week.
for everything you guys do. Magic. Thanks.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.